Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vasel, and today we're taking a look at 0 to 100. That's kind of cool. This is a party game from Scorpion Mask. Scorpion Mask makes really good games, especially party games. This one says, learn the rules in a minute. That is true. A lot of times people say, this game takes a minute to learn, and it usually takes longer than that. 0 to 100 I could almost do in 30 seconds. I'm not, though. I'm going to teach it to you a little bit slower than that, but this won't take long. Here we go. In this game, you're going to break up into 2 or 3 teams, and each team is going to draw 6 cards. Each of these cards has a numerical answer on the back of it. That's going to be from 1 to 100, and it has something on here. So this, for example, is how many degrees is the angle of inclination at the Great Pyramid of Giza? How many days did Jeremy Harper need to count to 1,000,000, doing 16 hours a day? How many years did Sleeping Beauty sleep? How many different American presidents were there in the 20th century? How many inches long is the average umbilical cord of a newborn human baby? So you'll start with this 50 card in the middle, and each team is going to pick something they think is close to 50. I don't know. How many years did Sleeping Beauty sleep? Over here, this team says, how many hours does it take to watch all the episodes of Friends? Well, that would be more than 50. How fast can a 1908 model Ford go? We'll try that one. All right, so once it's done, you'll turn these cards over. Whoa, Sleeping Beauty slept for 100 years. That's not going to be the closest. This one's going to be closer at 40. So here's the deal. This team here is the farthest away. So they're going to leave this card here. The 50's discarded, and they're going to draw another card to replace it. Every other team, in this case it's only one team, but it could be 2 other teams, will discard their card. And now they're down to 5, and this team is at 6. And you're now trying to find the number that's closest to 100. Okay, so that's 100. So, and once you're down to 1 card, your team wins. Now, there's a few other things. Each player has a power card, a minus plus 50, and a minus plus 20, and then a spot on. So you can play these cards when you play a card out there. So let's say we're trying to get to 100. I might say, what length is the length in yards of an Airbus A380? And I'll say, I'm going to take this number and add 50 to it. And then when I look at that number, which this is a different number from a different card, but let's say it was 19. Well, my number is now 69. I could also subtract 50, but you do that before you flip the card over. And then you can also do that with the plus or minus 20. Spot on, or almost, how many years did Robinson Crusoe live on his island? I say, ooh, I think this is within 5. If I'm correct, not only will I lose that card, but I'll lose another card. Anyway, that's the whole game. Now, there are 158 question cards that are in this game. Everything fits inside this box. There's a little divided thing here, but it's a pretty small game. I like 0 to 100. There are games that are like this. Timeline is a good example where you're putting cards in order based on the date that they have. And this is going to remind you a lot of Timeline. It's a lot of trivia questions. You're guessing. You might know some of these by heart. I mean, some of these questions I might know. Let me see. No, 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 no. Okay, maybe I don't know any of these here. But there are some that I think I might know close to that. Like, how many Smurfs were there originally? I might know that. I think it's this number. I was close, but I wasn't right. So so that's going to happen, right? The thing is you're trying to get close to the answer. And then using those 3 cards, very simple, plus or minus 50, 20, and spot on. It's a fast game. It's simple. There's one negative to this. That's the size. Now, the size is not necessarily negative because, hey, you can bring it out and play it anywhere. That's easy. But I do worry that you're going to run out of cards. Some of these I'm going to remember. I spoiled 2 answers for you in the overview. You might remember those 2 answers. And so I guess that's a negative because there's not going to be a ton of replayability in this. With a 158 question cards, and if you play with 3 teams, you're going to start with 18 cards. You'll see another, I don't know, another 6, 24. So there's probably 6 games in here for 3 teams. That's not bad. And again, if you forget stuff at all, you'll have more games than that. And it's a really cheap price point. So taking all that into account, 15-minute game, 2 to 12 people, since you split into teams, this is a 7 for me. This is good. I wouldn't mind a deluxe version of this, and by deluxe I mean a box that's maybe about this size that has, 500 of these questions in, because that has a ton of replayability. But for what it is, I think this is a nice gift. It's a good stocking stuffer. It's a good thing to get people into games, or just this is a great game for dinner table. There's not a lot of games that work well where you can play while you're waiting for your food to come at a restaurant. 0 to 100 is one of those. Check it out. I'm Tom Vasel. We'll see you next time.